This is the Scorecard, where you score the latest sports news and in-depth views. I'm Anton Roxas. On the Scorecard tonight, Yen Martin, Carl Berdal earn NCAA Player of the Week honors after upset wins. Philippine billiards body suspended over multiple violations. POC steps in. JP Macatula strikes gold in the 9th GMTBC Open Championship. In the NBA, Cunningham leads Pistons to dominant win over Wizards. While Cavaliers storm back to beat the Nets to clinch Central Division title with their 15th straight win. And check out how WNBA superstar Sabrina Ionescu charmed Manila. All the headlines and more on the Scorecard tonight, the 12th of March. Now here's our roundup. Yen Martin and Carl Berdal just made NCAA Season 100 volleyball a whole lot more interesting, leading their teams to stunning upset wins and earning Player of the Week honors along the way. Martin was on fire for the Letran Lady Knights, dropping 19 points with 17 attacks, 1 ace, and 1 block to lead her team to a shocking 25-22, 25-23, 26-24 win over defending champion De La Salle CSB, ending the Lady Blazers' incredible 43-game winning streak that began back in 2020. Over in the men's division, Berdal showed up when it mattered the most, delivering a monster 21-point performance, 19 attacks and 2 blocks plus 11 receptions to power Arellano to a gritty win over 4-time defending champion Perpetual Help. 2 players, 2 huge wins. NCAA Season 100 just got a lot more exciting, and this is only the beginning. The Asian Confederation of Billiard Sport has dropped the hammer on the Billiard Sports Confederation of the Philippines, slapping it with a suspension and tapping the Philippine Olympic Committee to take charge at least for the next 3 months. In a letter to the POC dated March 9, Michael Alcuri, Secretary General of the Qatar-based ACBS, said the decision came during a meeting on February 18 and got the green light the next day. The ACBS laid out the BSCP's alleged lapses, including conflicts of interest, failing to hold elections for ACES, organizing international tournaments without proper approvals, and not looking after the country's billiard athletes properly. The POC received the official notice through Secretary General Attorney Warton Chan, who was also asked to form a disciplinary committee to investigate the BSCP's violations. Chan wasted no time sending a letter to the Philippine Sports Commission on March 11 to inform them of the shakeup and clarifying that the POC will temporarily handle the BSCP's responsibilities, including supervising arrangements and athlete entitlements during the suspension period. On top of that, the POC was also given the task of tracking Filipino players qualified for international tournaments, including the World Games 2025 in Chengdu, China, set for August 7 to 17. JP Macatula delivered a masterclass in precision and composure, clinching victory in the 9th GMTBC ICS Quick Print Open Championship after a nail-biting final against teammate Merwin Tan at Santa Lucia East Bowling Center on Sunday. Macatula first dominated fellow Team Pilipinas bowler Patrick Nuki 245-183 before setting up a showdown with Tan, who led the 10-game finals. With the stepladder format requiring Macatula to beat Tan twice, he came out firing, taking the first match 242-226. The deciding game was even more intense. Macatula stumbled early but bounced back with 2 5-baggers or 5 straight strikes, sealing a 247-245 win. Bowling legend Paeng Nepomuceno secured a strong 4th-place finish for SLETBA GMTBC, where Michael Lacerna rounded out the top 5. In the NBA, Cade Cunningham delivered a stellar performance with 27 points, 10 assists, and 8 rebounds to power the Detroit Pistons past the Washington Wizards 123-103 at the Little Caesars Arena. The Pistons, who have won 12 of their last 15 games, started strong with a 35-21 lead after the first quarter and never looked back. Malik Beasley hit key three-pointers early in the second quarter to help stretch Detroit's advantage to 18 points. Washington tried to rally, cutting the deficit to 10 behind a Marcus Smart three-pointer. But Cunningham responded with a three-point play and clutch free throws to secure a 66-49 halftime lead for Detroit. The Pistons broke the game open with a 10-3 run to start the second half, building a 24-point lead. Beasley's buzzer-beating three at the end of the third quarter kept Detroit firmly in control, leading 93-74. Washington mounted a brief comeback behind Corey Kispert's 9-0 run, trimming the lead to 12. But Cunningham responded with a jumper and an assist on a Dennis Schroeder three-pointer to end any hopes of a Wizards comeback. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Cavaliers continued their remarkable run, rallying from an 18-point deficit to edge the Brooklyn Nets 109-104 at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. The victory marked their 15th straight win, tying a franchise record, and secured their 8th Central Division title. Brooklyn seemed in control early, but the Cavs turned up the intensity in the second half. Isaac Okoro's layup with just over 6 minutes left gave Cleveland the lead for good, while Darius Garland took over in the final quarter, scoring 18 of his 30 points to seal the comeback. Jarrett Allen delivered a strong performance with 23 points and 13 rebounds, setting the tone on defense, while Evan Mobley added 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. Despite missing key players like Donovan Mitchell, the Cavaliers continue to find ways to win. With the playoffs fast approaching, Cleveland looks like a team that's ready to make some noise, and the rest of the Eastern Conference should take notice. And here are more results from around the NBA. And here's your daily dose of sports lingo. Can you guess what makes a wushu performance truly electrifying? It's all about GG, the dynamic techniques that bring power, speed, and intensity to every move. GG refers to explosive kicks, lightning-fast strikes, and aerial movements that demand both strength and precision. In competitions, these techniques showcase an athlete's control, athleticism, and mastery of wushu's most difficult moves. Performing GG flawlessly can mean the difference between a good score and a gold medal. So next time you see a wushu athlete soaring through the air or executing a blur of rapid movements, you're witnessing the art of GG in action. Now it's time for our off-court buzzer. Tiger Woods is sidelined after an Achilles surgery, so the buzz is, what's next for the golf icon? Woods faces another tough road to recovery as he undergoes surgery for a ruptured left Achilles tendon. The injury happened during training, forcing him to put his comeback plans on hold. Woods felt a sharp pain while stepping up his training, prompting surgery performed by Dr. Charlton Stucken in Florida. He is now recovering at home, focused on rehab and getting back in shape. Achilles injuries typically require months of recovery, making it highly unlikely that Woods will compete in this season's majors, including the Masters in April. His journey back to the course won't be easy, but if there's one thing Woods has proven time and again, it's that he knows how to fight back. And that's our roundup for tonight, the 12th of March. Up next, we've got more on WNBA superstar Sabrina Ionescu. So watch out for that when we return right here on The Scorecard. Welcome back to The Scorecard. WNBA superstar Sabrina Ionescu's Manila stopover was truly a big hit. Basketball fans were treated to on-court action, talks, and more. And The Scorecard was there courtside to bring you the highlights of her trip. So check this out. Filipino basketball fans made sure that WNBA champion and Olympic gold medalist Sabrina Ionescu felt loved when she touched down in Manila. The former college sensation from Oregon and now WNBA superstar with a championship ring to her name took the time to have hoop sessions with local ballers. Ionescu also sat down with the local media to talk everything basketball. When asked about the possibility of a rivalry with fellow superstar Caitlin Clark,
rivalries are a part of every sport, and I think that's kind of the fun part of kind of being a part of a league now where there's many. There's teams who continue to beat each other in the finals, and there's rivalries, and that's kind of a story that obviously the fans love to engage with. And so, I think you kind of let that take a life of its own, and as basketball players you don't really worry about it too much and just kind of focus on what you can, and that's continuing to be the best athlete and basketball player. And for me, it's kind of always been a fun part of basketball, is kind of showing up and just being fiery and wanting to win every single time you step on the court.
And when asked about the growth of women's basketball, particularly the WNBA,
it's been huge to see the growth in such a short amount of time, and obviously being a part of this league and being able to kind of see it firsthand is really exciting. From when I came in to where I'm at now, seeing the coverage, the investment, the viewership continue to peak every single time we play, and I feel like we continue to break records every single night. So it's been really fun to see how investment has really played a huge role in where we're at right now, and knowing that that's not only in the WNBA and in the NCAA, obviously in the United States, but I think that can take on a life of its own in different countries and continuing to push the game forward.
When it comes to 3x3, Sabrina has two names she would like to put on her dream team.
I mean, I think I would take Victor Wembanyama and Steph Curry. I think we'd be an unbeatable team, so that's the team I'm choosing.
The WNBA star is not new to Manila. She has been here once before. And when asked about her most favorite experience, Sabrina had this to say.
Yeah, I think my favorite experience from being here is the basketball culture and being able to see the support that the fans have showed, how nice everyone is, the food's amazing, the weather's been good so far. And so, I would say just being able to be here in person and take it all in has been the most exciting part. And obviously the fan love and support is kind of like none other. So it's been really fun to see that firsthand and kind of be able to give back to the community here. Yeah, I mean, I think it's really important. I think obviously our goal when you're kind of a part of a league that is still knocking at the door of being able to get the recognition, the support, the investment that you deserve. You really kind of focus on where you're playing, which is the United States. But I think what's really important is being able to tap into different countries and understanding how important that love from the fans that you get from everywhere, and inspiring kids from all around the world to want to play, and kind of being able to have those role models is really important. So obviously for me it's a blessing even to be here on the streets and see how many people have my jersey and are wearing like gear from when I was at Oregon to New York to USA jerseys. So it's been really kind of an honor to see that love all the way here in Manila.
The superstar is also all about uplifting women in sports. Hence, when asked about the challenges women face, this is what she had to say.
I mean, I think you can't settle. And obviously we're at the point where we're at in women's sports and basketball, but we're far kind of, to where we want to go. There's still so much more that we want to accomplish. And continuing to fight for equality and continuing to grow the game in different areas aside from the United States. And so for us, it's kind of that understanding of enjoying the moment where you're at right now, but not being satisfied with just that and wanting to continue to get better.
When the scorecard returns, we will look into the NBA players who are completely changing their team's trajectories. So you can keep your eyes on the prize. Welcome back to the scorecard. It's time to keep your eyes on the prize. All right, Hoopheads. Let's talk about two players who have been making that huge leap into superstardom and propelling their team to success. You know the drill. We're not talking about guys who had a hot month in November and then faded into oblivion. These are players who leveled up for real, adding skills, fixing weaknesses, and completely changing their team's trajectories. And today, as I said, we've got two guys who jumped tiers this season, Cade Cunningham and Evan Mobley. Let's break it down. Cade Cunningham, the superstar that Detroit has been waiting for. And here's a fun fact. There are only 6 guys in NBA history who averaged 25, 9, and 6 in a season. Every single one of them, MVP candidates. And Cade Cunningham is about to be the 7th. Remember when people were worried about Cade? They were saying, oh, he's injury prone. Oh, he's not efficient. Oh, the Pistons are a dumpster fire. And guess what? Some of that was fair. But what we're seeing right now is a guy who's fully arrived. Cade shooting a career best 51.2 effective field goal percentage on the highest usage rate of his career. That's a ridiculous jump. He's controlling the game. He's reading defenses like a 10-year vet and making Detroit actually watchable. And here's why this is a big deal. When you're trying to rebuild, the hardest thing to find isn't talent. It's the guy, the alpha who makes everything click. The Pistons have been praying that Cade was that guy since drafting him number 1 in 2021. Well, guess what? They just got their answer. Congratulations to Detroit. Now, we move on to Mr. Evan Mobley, the evolution of a two-way monster. Now, we all knew Evan Mobley was an elite defender, 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year voting 2 years ago. Freakishly versatile, just an absolute menace. But here's the twist. His offense has finally caught up. For the past 3 years, Cav fans have been like, what if Mobley had the actual offensive game? Well, they got their wish because he's hitting 36.5 from 3, attacking the rim like he actually wants to put someone through it, and finishing better than ever. Last season, he drove 4.7 times per game and got 2.7 points from it. This season, 6.6 drives and 4.4 points per game. That's a huge jump in aggression. He's bullying guys off the dribble, forcing defenses to collapse, and, get this, actually spacing the floor now for Cleveland. This changes everything because before, defenses could load up on Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Now, Mobley's forcing them to adjust, and if he keeps this up, the Cavs aren't just a nice team. They are going to be a legitimate title threat. So there you have it. 2 guys who completely changed their team's future. Cade became the Pistons' franchise player, and Mobley turned into an actual offensive force. And guess what? We're just getting started. 3 more names coming in part 2, so stay tuned. Now, let's keep an eye and stay ahead of the game with the full lineup of NBA matchups tomorrow. And that wraps up tonight's preview, so you can keep your eyes on the prize. Before we go, think on this. From a former world number 1, a 22-time Grand Slam champion who holds a record 14 French Open titles, Rafael Nadal, he once said, "Losing is not my enemy. Fear of losing is my enemy." And with that, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow on the Scorecard, where sports is our business and business is our sport, right here on the Bilyonaryo News Channel. This has been Anton Roxas. Have a blessed evening, everybody. Good night.